Hi, it's Therese and I'm back for Altenew, and it's time for another Take Two with Therese, and that means you get to see 2 cards being made today, and I've got a focus for both cards. I'm going to be using the Diamond Builder stencil. So this is a fairly new release stencil, and they're such an affordable product and can be used in so many different ways, and in particular this stencil has the ability to be either used, you can either just use one portion, you can double it up, you can triple it up, and you can actually use it 4 times to create this beautiful diamond pattern, which is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm making 2 panels. I'm using the same colors, and these pinks, they're from the set called Cherry Blossom, and what I like to do here is just to hold the stencil in place. You can use low tack adhesive sprays, you can tape your panel down, you can tape your cardstock down, but I find that when I'm using the life-changing blender brushes here that I don't really need to do that. I find that if I take my time, although the video is sped up, if I take my time, the stencil really doesn't shift. I'm just holding it in place with my hand. Did you see how the second lot, I just lined up the, to create the triangle, I just lined up the stencil beside the other portion that I'd already blended. And I started off with the darkest colour, which is the razzleberry, and then went straight to the pink diamond. And I think those 2 colours together looked amazing. So the third colour there that I came in with was the Pinkalicious. And to be honest, this last colour here, which is the second darkest, is the Rubellite. I don't think I added enough of the Rubellite in this particular instant because it did come very much out like the Pinkalicious. But you can see the subtle difference here. I would have liked to have made it just a little bit darker. And I could have, but, you know, my wrist was getting sore. And I actually did 2 panels today. So I'm going to show you how to use the 2 panels that I created using the same bright, beautiful pinks on 2 different cards. I've got some flowers that I've die cut from some jet black cardstock. The first one, that really fine one, is actually called the Fine Bouquet Die. The second one is a lot bolder design, and this one's from the Super Striped Floral Die set, and it comes with a leaf and 2 different floral images. So my first card, I'm just going to pop that together now. I have cut a window using the Fine Bouquet Die again from some pale grey cardstock, and now I'm just adding some dotted adhesive around the die cut. And then I'm going to cover my die cut hole, negative space, with some acetate. And this is, I'm not creating a shaker. This is purely to give me something to adhere my bouquet die cut to, because I wanted to pop it up off the card front, and I didn't want it to sag, and I didn't want to have to layer up lots of layers of the die cut, but I could have done that as well. So I just bit the bullet and added some acetate. And this is where I'd really like to get some acetate that was kind of not shiny. I don't know, is there such a thing as non-shiny acetate that's still see-through? I don't know. If you know anything about any product that's like that, can you let me know? Because I'm interested. And doesn't this card, I just wanted to show you this, doesn't this card look pretty with the just having that flower on the white with the black? And I considered using this fancy hello die, but in the end I decided to come in and stamp a sentiment, which is from the Simply the Best set. I'm using this set so much lately, the Simply the Best. So I've just done a little cheaty thing. I've stamped out my sentiment on some acetate, and I'm moving it around on my cardstock till I work out exactly where I'm happy with the placement and where it looks, and that way I know kind of what it's going to look like. I don't have to commit. I don't want to commit. I can move things around for hours. Okay, so once I have worked that out, I'm going to stamp it out with my Obsidian black ink. And this is a beautiful bold black ink. I'm really enjoying it. Using it all the time. It's the first one I'm reaching for at the moment if I'm not going to be using Copics. I've got some of the jet black enamel dots, and they're from the Green Fields enamel dot set from Altenew, and I wanted one of those to be in behind the window of my little bouquet die there. Bouquet die cut, I should say. So what I did was added some fun foam with some Be Creative tape behind my panel, and then just placed it, and I wanted the diamond builder stencil pattern to be on a bit of an angle beneath. So once I hid that down, I did cut away those edges and then just popped that up on the front of a top fold card and added a couple more enamel dots. I did leave a really small white border around the edge. And I do like to use some liquid glue behind my enamel dots just to make sure that they don't shift in the post. I love that sentiment. It's one of my faves. Alright, my second flower, this is the super striped floral die, and I think it's called the super striped because it's so big. It's awesome, and I thought it was really bold to die cut it in the black as well. I've added some liquid glue just to the larger portions of the die cut, not the little fine edges, and I've die cut the same image out of some fun foam that has an adhesive back on it. And while that's set aside to dry, I decided to add some black glass glitter to the center of the flower that I actually die cut out as well. So it is a black base but covered in white glue. And while that's drying, I decided to poke out all of the holes, all of the little holes of the flower. And it took a while. Are you bored yet? I certainly am. I think I went to get a coffee. Actually, I don't drink coffee. It would have been a cup of tea. I stamped out a little sentiment from the flower vine set, and that stamp set has really small, bold sentiments, and I like it when I haven't actually made up my mind with a sentiment. I can add them anywhere because they are perfect and small, and they've got some really universal sayings in there, like happy anniversary, feel better soon, thinking of you, all those things that come in handy. Right, I nearly sat this upside down. I don't think it would have mattered. It's just that I've got the fun foam on the back, which I said was adhesive, so I just had to actually peel that away, and then I could just stick my flower down on the front of my card and add some liquid glue to the border of the leaf. I did decide to actually pop up the sentiment. I was originally thinking about doing a black sentiment, but it's just too black on black, and this is a bold card. A very bold design. I've done a couple of designs lately with very little stamping and very little colouring, so I'm having fun trying to actually stretch my supplies, and I hope that you're enjoying it too. So if you like this video, please like it, and if you haven't already, I'd love it if you subscribe to the channel. There's always heaps of inspiration here, and all the links to the products that I've used today will be at the blog, and their link will be in the description below. Till next time, bye.